Hi there, it's Jen. Hold on a sec, got an echo. There we go, that should be better. Let me just mute everything here. Hello, it's Friday and it is July 22nd. I'm here live with you. If you're watching me live, let me know. If you're watching the replay, let me know. I'm just going to make sure I can see comments and that we're good to go. So I've got a really simple but beautiful project to show you today with a new stamp set that I got. Let me just put this here so you can see it. This is the one I'm going to use, Snow Crystal. It's just a single background stamp, so I'm going to show you that. But first, I want to do the draw that I do every week. And so what I do is I do a draw for, let me just put this back up here, for what I made the previous week. And all you have to do is comment on my video. I'm just moving over here a little bit so you can see. And then I'll do a draw. So I've got this little post-it note here ready to go. And just a reminder of what I did last week. I did this thing here, which was a beginner starter kit. And here, let me just put this big so you can see it. Hello, Lori, how are you? She says, have a wonderful Friday. It is a wonderful Friday, especially having you here with me. So I did these really simple little note cards, just using one stamp set and the little set of mini spots. And these were the little cards I made. And then, of course, matching envelopes. I actually have a post almost ready to go on my website. Those are the envelopes that will highlight all these. So someone's going to get all these little things here. And so what I'm going to do is anyone who commented on the post last week, anytime last week, commented or shared or did anything like that, I'm going to put you in the draw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over the screen. Now it just looks going to look a little bit weird for a second. And then hopefully it will show. So let me just share the screen. And we want to share this. So I'm hoping you can see this now. So I've got it all queued up with people that have commented. So here we go. And of course you have to be Canadian and not a demonstrator to win. So I see someone there, Rita. Rita, actually, I don't know if you're a demonstrator or not. So I'm going to write your name down. If we need to redo the draw, we will. But for now, Rita has won. Congratulations. Okay, so let me switch back here. And I hope I'm switching back here. Let's see. I think I'm back. Okay, so let me know if you can see me. And I see that Nicole's joined us. Kathy says, it is great to be with you live. Love it. And Paulette says, cute note cards. I always forget to get those. Yeah, they are super cute, aren't they? Okay, so let me just move back to my hands here. And I'm going to put this prize aside and I'm going to get started stamping here. So if you're there, if you can just let me know if you can see my screen, okay, that'd be great. I've got a new setup and it's just a little bit different, so I'm never sure if I can see things properly. I'm missing a screen level. Just taking a sip of water here, and then I'm going to get started. So I'm going to use Snow Crystal. It is in this mini catalog, and again, if you don't have this catalog, please let me know, and I'm happy to get it to you. So let me show you where that is. There's actually a few things I want to show you in this catalog. So it's here on page 38. It's really small. It's not showing actual size. It tells you that there's a piece there showing actual size. It tells you it's a background stamp, and they suggest block F. So that's it in actual size. It's quite big. Okay, so there's a couple other things I wanted to show you in here. I'm also going to be using these. Well, I'm going to show you these gems, but I think I'm going to switch out what I'm going to use. But there's some really pretty adhesive back sequins and gems on page 19 of this catalog. That's another thing. And then I also want to show you, got to get all this out of the way here, this cool thing here. I almost missed it the first time through the catalog. It is it's called Embossing Editions Toolkits right here, page 49. Of the mini catalog, and it's a little tray, an embossing buddy, a brush, and a thing, like you're supposed to know what that means, and a pair of tweezers to do embossing. So I'm doing embossing today, so I'm going to show you that. Okay, so here we go. I have, first of all, a piece of shimmery white cardstock. Nicole says everything looks great, very professional. Oh, thank you so much. Perfect picture and sound. Fantastic. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to just tilt it. I certainly can't see it on the screen right now, but I'm hoping you can see that this is shimmery white. This is in the annual catalog. It's shimmery on both sides, and it's just a really nice paper for doing any sort of heavy stuff. So not only am I embossing, but I'm actually going to be using a little bit of water with my water painters. This month is actually World Watercoloring Month. I can't even say that. So I realized I haven't done any watercoloring. So I'm going to do kind of a different kind of watercoloring. It's not a real watercoloring. It's an emboss resist watercoloring. So some of you may know that term. So I'm going to start here, and I need my Versamark, with my stamp, which I also need. I realized I cleaned up my desk before I started. So here it is here, mounted up. And I am going to just move the case off to the side and move the papers off to the side. I'm using purple, as you can see. So with this great big stamp, I'm going to stamp in Versamark. You want to ink upside down to get all over that stamp. So I'm just going to tap it all over. I see Villa there, and Desiree and Jose. Hello, hello, everyone. Just make sure it's got lots of good ink on it. I'm going to close up the ink pad. And then I am going to lay this on here kind of like this. And I'm going to press firmly all around. There's lots of detail on here, and I want to make sure I've got a good impression. Okay, now of course you're not going to see anything because it's clear ink. So I'm going to take my cute little kit that I mentioned, and oh my goodness, I totally forgot to do the embossing buddy first. You take this little thing here, embossing buddy, and you rub it over the paper first, and then it takes away any static out of the paper, and that helps to not put any little extra bits and pieces of fluff and extra lines on the paper. So I'm just dipped this into the white embossing powder. I'm going to just tap it off. And I do have a little bit of lines here, and I'm missing a little bit right here. So I'm going to just sprinkle some more powder. I hope it's not just because I stamped it badly. A little bit more. So I should have done the embossing buddy, and that would have helped get rid of any extra little bits. But the kit does come with a brush, and so you can just brush away any extra powder very carefully. I see a little bit of extra in there, but that's fine. It'll just add to the snowy effect. This is really great when you're embossing sayings on like dark cardstock. You really want to use that tool. So they had discontinued that embossing buddy for a while. So I was very sad about that because it's a really useful tool when you're embossing. I'm going to show you how to clean this up after. I'm going to take the little tongs that come with this. And I've got here my Stampin' Up! Heat tool. And there are two settings on this, a 2 and a 1. I want to go 2 because I want it to be nice and hot. So usually what I do with a heat gun is I turn it on first for a few minutes. And that means turn on the machine, not turn it on. If you know what I mean. Okay, I'm being silly now. So I let it warm up for a few minutes, and then I'll start embossing. It's going to be loud, so I'm going to try not to talk while it's embossing. But what you want to do is you want to go over the whole thing and slowly melt that powder. And you don't want to do like a hairdryer. You want to go slowly over each part. But you want to be careful not to overdo it, because if you overdo it, you'll actually burn the paper. So we don't want to do that. So here we go. It's easier to see it than to say it. So here we go. I'm going to warm up for a minute. You might be able to hear me, but hopefully you can see that that powder is turning to a nice white color, and it's melting, and it doesn't have that sort of dusty look anymore. I'll sort of turn it so you can see. I'm just going over each spot carefully so that it gets all done. I missed a little spot down here. I can see it's a little bit dark. Okay, so when I'm done, I just take it and I'm going to twist it. Again, you may or may not be able to see that in the camera, but you will by the time we're done. And I look for dark spots to see if I've missed any powder. And then it takes about 30 seconds before you can actually touch it, because otherwise it's still warm. It might melt and you get your fingerprint in there. So now I can touch it. And that's another way to find out if you've missed anything. So it looks good there. So I'm going to take my Highland Heather ink and open it up. I'm so worried I'm going to spill this thing, but I don't want to sprinkle it back in until I'm all done here, so I don't want to get extra powder. So these are water painters are in the annual catalog. I actually think I did mark the page. Let's see. Did I mark the page? Yes, I did. Actually, if you don't have this, I don't know why I'm saying actually a lot. Catalog index. Let me know. I'll put a link in here, but it's got everything listed. So when I wanted to find my water painters, I just went here and I went to page 129. This is a little index I made because the index in the back of this catalog is not that great. So they're here, page 129. There's 3 different types, a fine tip, a media tip, and a large flat brush. They are $18 for the 3 of them, okay? So I'll remember to put that index in there. So I'm going to use the flat brush. This is actually one of my favorite brushes to use. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. And then I'm going to take my Highland Heather ink and I'm going to take an ink refill. So this is what you would use if you were going to re-ink your pad. Kathy says you can actually see it quite well as you move around. Okay, good to hear. Now that looks like a cat hair. So we'll get rid of that first. And I'm just going to put a drop or 2 of that ink refill in there. Now you don't need to do that. You could squish the lid, but I had the ink refill, so this just makes this a lot easier. These pens all unscrew like that. And then you fill the barrel with water. So I'm actually going to squeeze the barrel and add some extra water in here. Okay, maybe a little bit more. That's pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Now I'm going to go over top of this, and where the ink has been embossed, it's going to resist the color. So I'm just going to go over this with some nice little brush strokes, and you can see that that pattern is revealing as I'm doing this. And it looks very pretty. Isn't that pretty? And how easy is that? This is one of my favorite watercolor tricks and tips to do. Is just an emboss resist, and it's so pretty with the snowflake. It just really pops. Now I'm going to do one more thing here. I'm going to try and make it look like there's a bit of a shadow. You'll see the paper is kind of curling. That's because the paper is getting wet, and that's why you need a good strong paper. So we do have a watercolor paper, which would be nice as well, but I liked the shimmery white. I'm going to add more down here a little bit, just so that I could have a little bit of shimmer on that paper as well. I need a little bit of room for a saying down here. So now I'm going to grab some more of this ink, and I'm going to add just a little bit along the lines here. I actually think I might switch brushes. So to clean the brush, all you do is you just squeeze it out on the side. You could have a paper towel handy if you're doing a lot of coloring, and just dab it until it's turning clear, and then you can just put it away. You can store it with water in it if you want to, or you can drain the water out. Totally your choice. So I'm going to take the medium size brush this time. And I think I might add just a little bit more ink refill, just to make it quite dark here. And whoop, that was a lid that just fell off. That lid is loose for some reason, the middle one. I don't know why. I will get it later, unless my cat finds it and plays with it. Okay, so I just want this a little bit darker, and I'm just going to add right along the edge of the spines, is that what you call them, of the snowflakes? A little bit of color to make it look like there's maybe like a 3D kind of effect. So let me do this. And then I'd have to do it here too on each of those spines to add that. So while I'm doing this, let me know what you're up to this weekend. Anything fun? So hopefully you can see. I think I might have just mixed up the sides that I was doing that on, trying to make it 3D-ish. And you can kind of picture a 3D image. So I'm just adding wherever there's little spines coming off there. I might have mixed that up, but I think it's getting that look. A sort of 3D, it's almost like a shadow right in behind there. So I only want to do it on the one side of each thing. Just add a little bit of extra color. I need one on that side too, I think. There we go. How is that? Isn't it pretty? And so as it dries, of course, it's going to mutate just a little bit. So pretty. And it's dried pretty quickly. I'm not using a ton of water. That's one of the tricks with watercoloring, is that you want to dab off. Now this here, what I'll do is take a paper towel or something and soak that up. So I'm just going to put that off to the side so I don't spill it. And I'm going to, again, squeeze this painter until that is clear. And then I can put that away as soon as I find the brush tip. Okay, I see Sarah there too. Hello, Sarah. So I'm now going to use a saying. I literally put everything over on the other desk. Here we go. This one, Christmas to Remember. This is in the annual catalog. It's one of the ones that was available last year and it came back. So it's got some nice Christmas greetings. So I'm going to use this Merry Christmas. And again, that is in the annual catalog, this greeting, because this stamp set is a single stamp. There are no greetings or anything with it. And I'm going to add Merry Christmas just along the bottom in gorgeous grape. So I've got a nice purple color coming through here. And then I'm going to put this together. So in my new setup, I have a drawer right beside me. So one of these days I'll do a tour of my stamp room. But it's been a year and I've already changed it once. But I'll do a tour showing you where I put all the stuff and all that. But it's a pretty small room. Excuse me for 1 second. I just got a little tickle. And I need to get rid of that. It's a pretty small room, so I need to be pretty efficient excuse me, in how it's set up. I don't know where that tickle came from all of a sudden. Probably because I haven't talked to anybody but the dog today. Nicole says she would love to see a tour. I would love to show you, so I'll make that a goal of mine to have it cleaned up enough to show you. Because of course I don't want to show you the mess, because there are certain parts that are messy. Now I did put a lot of tape there because of that curling paper. Oh, and I see I cut this too big. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my paper cutter. Excuse me, sorry about that. I cut this the same size as the purple, which is now under here. So I just need to trim a tiny bit off, and of course I got sticky stuff on here. So we want to take that down to 5. Whew, I did it. And I think I'll take a little bit off this side, and it should be 3.75. I'm going to turn it over so it doesn't stick all to my cutter, just to my thing here. Ta-da! Perfect. There's no mistakes in stamping, I always say. So I'm going to add just a bit more tape there to make sure. Estelle says you'll probably change it up again. Yes, seriously, that's what we do, isn't it? We kind of get one way of doing stuff, and then we change things around. Okay, so here we go. My purple snowflake. Of course, we have to add some bling to it. So let me do that. I'm just taking another sip of water so I don't start choking. And again, all my bling is over here. It's not funny that I thought it was all perfectly set up, but in fact, I had nothing. Okay. This is a table you don't want to see because it is a mess. But it's nice having a little more space here. So I showed you these gems and the catalog. So this is what they look like. I've used them before, I think, with you guys. Adhesive back sequins and gems. They're so pretty and sparkly. And these are actually fresh freesia, but they would look nice there. And I've done some of that. And I like some of this for the snowflake too. But I'm going to show you another card that I made with that. For this one, I'm going to use these elegant faceted gems. These are my favorite gems in the whole catalog, and I'm so glad they returned them this year because I love them. So I'm going to grab, if you had to pick one gem, this would be the gem I would pick. I'm going to grab my Take Pick tool, and I've got some clear ones here that I'm going to grab. And let me clean up as I go along. Woohoo! And I'm going to add these in here. So let's start with a big one. And then we're going to add maybe some smaller ones. I know I don't think you can have too much bling here, so I'm going to maybe put a couple big ones too. Anybody do anything exciting? I think we're going to have another pool weekend because it is hot out there. I don't know if your area is hot too. Okay, so let's add some small ones now. So that pool is saving us. I'm so glad we have a house with a pool now. I don't know what I did all those years with no pool. Sprinklers and air conditioning and all that fun stuff. Okay. You can't overdo it, right? You can't overdo bling, I feel. Especially on a simple card like this, right? Well, there's not a lot of other stuff going on. Now, if you wanted to, you could put bling around the snowflake. This idea actually is from one of my team members who every month when we have a team meeting, we have a Zoom team meeting, I have 2 people in my group who demonstrate something. And they're always different. And the person who demonstrated this last time used this thing, and she actually made me buy it. Look how pretty that is. Well, she didn't make me buy it. I loved what she did so much. She did blue, and she used her blending brush to add color, which was also really cool and quite vibrant. She did Tahitian Tide, and it was very pretty. And she had done just some bling around the side, so that looked nice too. So that's very pretty. Let me show you the other one I did. Villa says, I love purple. It's nice to use non-traditional colors. Exactly. That's why sometimes I like to go with them. So her blue snowflake was beautiful, but it was very bright. So I thought that was kind of non-traditional too. So here's the one I did with those other gems. So you can see I've added these in a little circle around the middle, and then I've added some of the sequins here. And so it really sparkles. It's a very blinged up card. This one's a little more subtle because those are clear gems. And they just kind of lightly sparkle, and then you get a little bit of sparkle from this paper too. I actually like how I went down further on this one to sort of blend that in, but I still left some white space around here so you can kind of get it. So again, a very simple card, really. It's just embossed and stamped, but it's gorgeous, and that's just to show you that sometimes you can do that. I can see I've done a little bit more dark on this one as well, so every time you do it, it will look a little bit different. Do you have a favorite version of this card? Let me know. Okay, so one other quick thing I'll say before I sign off today, and that is about my birthday party. I've mentioned it a few times, including in my newsletter, but it is a really great deal. So I'm hoping that you join me. I've already got a number of people. Basically, RSVP by August 12th, so you have a little bit more time. Unless I fill up completely, but sometimes we can do a second group, but I don't know if I will do that. So if you're interested, don't wait. Basically 10 people join. They each place a $100 order, and that gives everybody a so I'll just put this over here so you can look at the pretty cards. That gives everybody a prize because I group them together, so everybody gets a prize, and you get either a $20 item or $20 off something, or a half price item. And then I'll also do a draw for the hostess stamp sets that come during celebration, because that's on right now. Let me just show you what that is, because it's super cute. I can't wait to get one, actually. This one here, Perfect Pomegranate. So there'll be a couple of those that I draw as well, and you get a birthday card too. So there's lots of great reasons. I'll put a link to this here as well. Love the purple. Robin's there. Christine says pretty cards. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Desiree says very humid. Yes, it is crazy weather right now in Canada. And in Ontario, if that's where you are, it is very hot. And it sounds like it's hot all over the country, to be quite honest. Okay, so let me go back to me here. Hello, hello. So remember to comment, like, and share this video, and then you will be in my draw next week. So every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, I go live here, and I do that draw and show you something new. If you ever have any requests, please let me know. I'm happy to accommodate or show things that you're interested in seeing. There's already so many cool things to see, and because it's World Watercoloring Month, July, I think maybe I'll do another watercoloring technique next week. I'm just sort of thinking about that as I was planning today. So Robin has already shared. Villa says that she loves both of them. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Villa. Robin loves the purple as well. So does Jose. And Nicole says it's beautiful. Thank you, everyone. All right, I'm going to sign off. Wishing you all a fantastic weekend. Stay cool. It's a good time to be inside and go stamping. Okay, so I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining me today. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.